Crusaders solidifying themselves as an elite franchise, but president and general manager of the Sherwood Park Crusaders, Adam Sergerie, actually says the process started a couple years back.
Right wing side shot, score!
Yeah, I look back, when it all started, you have a vision and you have a way you want it to work on a day-to-day basis. You want to create a process that ultimately is going to enhance player development. And it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. You need a lot of the right people in place. And I think in year one, when we had Evan McFeeters as our head coach, I think I would frame it as breaking ground with Evan. He really helped us in a lot of ways as far as just accelerating the process of the organization. He helped, really advance things for us, especially with how things should be done and how we should be portrayed, and how we want social media to look. He did a lot of really good things, and then he built a really good foundation in the dressing room in terms of what the culture should look like there. So I thought, in the first year with Evan, we were able to really get this thing off the ground. And you enter Brennan Menard in year two, where now, it's really tough to find coaches in junior hockey that embrace having young players. A lot of the time, coaches at this level, for whatever, right or wrong, you've seen a lot of teams in junior hockey have success with older players. So I think we get, enamored with that piece that you have to be older. Whereas Brennan and I, have always seen eye to eye with age is age. We just want talented hockey players, and we want the players with the most talent and have the most upside. And we believe it's the young guys that that are going to bring that to the table for us. And so we got to get going on that last year, and you fast forward to now, where we have 13 players, 17 and under. 3 are on the NHL watch list, and we've got 8 guys now going to the top prospects game, 9 guys going to the All-Star game, All-Star weekend. We've really been able to, I guess, create a brand in Sherwood Park where player development is at the forefront. Talent, as far as we want skill, we want guys that can skate, that can think the game, that we've created an identity for the organization, and that's what I'm really proud of and it really takes a large group of people to get that done. And the coaching staff's been vital on that front, the training staff, the support people in place. There's a lot that goes into it. And we talk about it takes a village to raise the kids, and we are fortunate to have incredible billets and incredible families. They play a huge part in our player development because they do an excellent job of making our players feel comfortable and giving them what they need. They spoil our guys, and it's phenomenal. We're so lucky to have the billet families that we have. So grateful for them and how invested they are, and not only just taking pride in having the players come to their and invite them into their homes and give them a bed. They make them an extension of their families, and that goes a long ways when we talk about player development, right? We want to make sure that our guys feel at home, they feel comfortable, they feel like they can be themselves. And when you have that type of support from billet families, it goes a long ways. And I mean, we have an academic advisor and a chaplain and mental skills coach. They all do an incredible job of going above and beyond for our players, and we're so fortunate for that.
And what have you learned from your time as GM at this level of hockey?
Yeah, I think biggest takeaway is relationships. You've got to earn trust. You got to earn trust in the hockey world, and you do that by doing a good job and keeping your word. If you're going to say something, you better live it. So I'm a believer in you under promise, over deliver. You do the best you can with that. The other thing is I touched on it previously. You need a village of people, and I talked about the importance of our billets. I talked about our academic advisor, who does an incredible job, Roberta, with being on top of our players' academics. Our chaplain, who does a great job of bringing the group together, and just really like investing in them as people. Our mental skills coach is, always on call, ready to jump on a call with any player at any point in time if they need help. Our strength and conditioning team, they've done an incredible job with our players. I feel like, and knock on wood, we haven't had a lot of injuries in the last few years, and I think it's because of the work we do in the gym in terms of the the preparation that we put in, and the work that we put in to take care of our bodies, and the girls at True Movement, the incredible job that they do with our players, and how invested they are. Every stakeholder that I just talked about will go above and beyond for our players. At any point in time, if our guys need something, they're willing to go there. And then, on the medical side with Tracy and, Sean King, who comes in once a week to see our guys, Miles Berlin, who's always been, a phone call away if our guys need any help at all. Like we've been just so fortunate to have people to be willing to do more than what's asked of them at any point in time. So I think that's really important. You have a group of people that are all pulling in the same directions, that all want the same for the player. They want the best for the player. That's vital. The other thing is, you need hockey players. You need people that are dialed in and that want to get better every day. If you got people that are half in or unsure of whether or not they want to put in the work, it doesn't make them a bad person. No, I'm not attacking anybody's character by any means, but when we're talking about what we're trying to do, it's easy for us to say age is irrelevant. We just want good hockey players. We want the most talented hockey players, because ultimately we're going to get the players that want to go after it every day, that want to get that soak in video, that soak in being on the ice for 2 hours. They want 3 hours of ice if they can get it. They want to spend more time in the gym. They want to spend more time preparing their body before each session that they're going to have on the ice, or before a game, or in the gym. You need players that want to get after it every single day. And when you have a room full of that, special things happen. You see the lateral coaching, the lateral teaching. You see them pulling, they pull them into the fight every day. When you have a full group of that, guys show up to the rink excited to get better. So you can't compromise that. When you can't compromise it for just talent. Talent's important. We all know that, but you need people that are driven and motivated, similar to what I talked about with the stakeholders and billets and all that are willing to go above and beyond. You need the same thing out of your players. You can't ask something of your players or from the players or your teammates that you're not willing to do yourself. I know it's cliche, but it's the reality of it. You need people, our coaches will do anything our players need. If players need something, they'll go above and beyond for them, and they can ask the same out of our players, because they model that every single day. And I think when you have that inside your organization, really good things happen. So you need motivated people. Of course, you need good people. Those are my biggest takeaways. I believed in that stuff before, there's no question, but having lived it now for a few years, you need people that have your back, that have your best interest, people that are going to wave your flag and want to see each other have success. That's, we're a very selfless group of people here with the organization. I can't think of one person where I would label as selfish. If anything, everyone's selfless. They're willing to help and go above and beyond. And we're really lucky to have a staff that's, from the business, the media, to the hockey ops. We have a group of people pulling in the same direction, and I think that goes a long ways.
And taking a look at the Crusaders themselves, how has the first inaugural season in the BCHL been for Sherwood Park?
It's been a home run. We've had a really good year. I know I keep talking about the age and the youth of our hockey team, but we always believed it could be done this way. And I think what we've done is we've probably exceeded those expectations. We've probably surprised ourselves a little bit too with what we're doing. We're happy with the way it's gone, but we're not satisfied. We would be very, I talked about a lot of really important things just, in a previous answer of what the organization needs and wanting people to get better. It's the same thing. We're happy with where we're at. We're not content. We want to keep going. We believe we can do bigger and better things, and we're going to continue to chase that. We're going to continue to go down the the path of being process driven and making sure that, you know, we show up and do our job every day the best way we can and set us up to have an even better day the next day. And I think when we continue to go down that path and to follow that process, like, you know, we're really we've instilled belief across the organization, and I think, you know, we believe that we're capable of doing bigger and better things, and we're going to continue to chase that.
Doc, Larangier, and Anderson all named to the NHL's Central Scouting list recently. Is this just an example of the level of hockey that gets played here in Sherwood Park?
It's the standard now. Like, that's what we want. We want that as often as possible, right? Like, we want that every year.
Anderson back over for Doc. Score!
Like, that's our goal. That's what we sought out to try to achieve here, and we're excited and proud of what they've done. And, you know, I think now, like, that's the standard. We expect to try to do that every year now, and exceed that. If we can better it, then that'll become the standard each and every year. Just continue to build off of it.
We talk a lot about the three previously mentioned. Is there anyone else who stands out to being vital to the team's success and that maybe don't get enough credit for what they do on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys, right? I like right away a kid like Matthew Frost, who wears a letter for us. He doesn't find the score sheet every night, but, you know, we talk about process. We talk about putting in the work every day. You know, Matt is as good as it comes when it comes to, you know, someone's process and how they show up to the rink and how dialed in they are to make sure that they're prepared for whatever the task at hand might be. Like, you know, Matt works extremely hard in practice. Like, he sets the tone for effort, you know, and execution in practice every day. Like, he shows up and puts a lot of pride in how he does things, the way he takes care of his body. I mean, we're talking about a kid that, you know, he's always got a water bottle in his hand. He's always on the foam roller. He's always, you know, he's always seeking more video. He wants to figure out what's the next advantage. And I think, you know, that's vital to the team's success, and it's so good for our young guys to see. So, you know, and he's done an incredible job on the ice. He's really important on the penalty kill right now. He's really growing on the power play, and he's found his kind of niche in the bumper spot there. You know, you're starting to see him do some really cool stuff. Like, he's an exciting player to watch here in the second half. I think he's going to do a lot of really good things. So I'm excited for him. Our goalie, James Venny, another kid, you know, does an excellent job every day of showing up and being a good teammate and preparing the right way. You know, I thought that I knew what the standard was for goalies and what preparation looked like for them. And James taking that to another level for us. So we're very fortunate to have someone like that in the room. You talk about two veterans in Sharp and Ross, who have been here for a few years now. You know, they do an incredible job of, you know, just setting the tone, being unbelievable for our young guys, role models. You know, they've been phenomenal. And maybe a young guy like, you know, Max Lee, who was in and out of the lineup early in the year and was finding his way in junior hockey, and now as a regular has made it, you know, really difficult to even take him out of the lineup for how good of a job he does on the penalty kill. You know, he's being utilized now in 5-on-6 situations when, you know, we're up a goal with a lead and you know, close out a game. It's not always about just the guys that are getting points and producing every night. It's guys like Max who do the little things right every single day. You can't help but cheer and hope for those guys to continue to get more and more as the year goes on.
And just my last question here for you, Serge. What's the mindset of the Crusaders coming into the second half of the season?
The mindset now is like we continue to build off the first half. Don't forget how we got there. You know, we've put a lot of emphasis on process and putting in the work every day. But what changes now is going into the second half of the season. It's a result-based time of year. We've got to win hockey games. We're in a tight division. You know, a bad weekend can really set you back in terms of the standings. A really good weekend can set you apart and help you climb the standings. So, you know, we're not losing sight of player development. That doesn't get lost in any of this. Like we know what we stand for. We know what we're trying to build. We know what our niche is as an organization, and we want to stay true to that. But at the same time, like, you know, we feel like our group has really done a good job of putting ourselves in a position to be competitive. So we've got to teach them how to win hockey games, especially important games down the stretch.